Hey everybody, Dr. Roy here.
And Dr. Marco.
And if this is your first time on our channel, welcome to RightHab, Rehab Done Right. Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor? Doctor. So we want to do real quick, answer the question, what is the purpose of the rotator cuff? So Mark, what is a rotator cuff?
Rotator cuff is a set of, actually, it's four different muscles that attach to the humeral hip, right
Right.
onto the arm.
Yeah, they all come off of the shoulder blade, the scapula. They sandwich it, actually. There's one underneath, there's one on the back, and then there's some on the sides. Um, so the purpose of the rotator cuff is really to just maintain congruency of the joint. What does that mean? To make sure that the ball and socket of your shoulder joint, that those two bones stay close together while your big muscles do the heavy lifting. They're not really in charge of any particular motion like rotation. For instance, internal rotation, Mark will demonstrate.
Or here.
You got about four different muscles. Well, you definitely have three muscles bigger than the rotator cuff muscle that does that. Your pec major, your lats, your deltoid all do that. Those are the big movers. Your rotator cuff's job is to maintain that congruency of the joint while the big movers move.
Right.
So, what does this mean clinically? Clinically, this means that those boring old rotator cuff exercises are kind of useless.
Yeah.
What should we be doing instead?
Uh, since it's meant to keep congruency, especially when we're elevating the shoulder, more proprioceptive, loading the joint, oscillation type of exercises, something to make that muscle react.
Yeah, and we see that we get more activation when we're doing oscillatory exercises in there. And what that is back and forth motions in a small range. So sorry for throwing out the big words there.
Yeah.
But the rotator cuff is, when we talk about statistics for rotator cuff tears, they're actually really common in people that are asymptomatic to see tears. What matters more is the grade of your tear, the size of your tear, and actually what matters more than anything to me, how functional is your arm right now?
Yeah.
And then we could talk from there. What are your limitations? What are your problems? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Our traditional rotator cuff tests aren't very good for testing rotator cuff function either. So definitely not for telling you how injured your rotator cuff is or isn't. So rethink your rotator cuff rehab, because your rotator cuff's job is to maintain those bones together while the big bones move. So while the big muscles move, sorry. So we should be training that way. Like Marco said, closed chain helps us fire that better and work your way to open chain. What is your goal? Grade your exposure there. Right? Hope that was helpful to somebody. Let us know.